Hey guys, welcome to episode 7 of the Ladywing Stitches Flosstube. My name is Zakia. You can find me on Instagram as Ladywing Designs. Feel free to message me on there. You can also send me a message at ladywingdesigns@gmail.com. Why can I not remember these things? If you are a book lover and you want to follow me or friend me on Goodreads, my name is Zakia the Walking Butterfly, and we have a blog for this floss tube. All the show notes will be there, and FO post, and all my whips. So that is ladywingdesigns.blogspot.com. Other admin. A direct link to this week's show notes will be in the down bar below, as well as all of the social media I just said, and maybe Facebook group links. Yeah, and then I'll put the links to the Facebook groups in the show notes as well, so they'll be there. Because I realized that I mention a lot of them on a weekly basis, so. Okay, I think that's it for admin stuff. How are you guys? I'm good. It's Wednesday, February the 6th, 2019. Yeah, it's already February, which is crazy. But yeah, you know, the year's been good so far. School is still going and never stops. Yeah, so I don't really have anything else to talk about like beforehand, so let's just jump right into the crafting. I hope you guys have been good. Yeah, year's moving right along. So, FOs, if you follow me on Instagram, you already know. I finished September Cottage from Country Cottage Needleworks. So, here it is. Hopefully that lighting is okay. I think it is. Yeah. So I love this. I pulled this back out for Magical Stitches, what do you know? And I just needed it. This was exactly what I needed. So I'm trying to get my thoughts together. I thought they were together before I started recording. Apparently not. But yeah, so what did I pick this back up for? It was last week in Magical Stitches. So calendar-wise, half the week was January and half the week was February. So we had a short detention for the end of January, and then those, yeah, it was the 1st through the 3rd of February, those first few days, since it was kind of an off week, because they give us our homework assignments on Monday. So from February 1st to the 3rd, which was basically that weekend, we had to put in 300 stitches on a project that was in Whip Prison. We were supposed to be rescuing the project. So I pulled this back out because I don't even know why it was in Whip Prison. It just got abandoned, and I just never really went back to it. So I pulled this out, and those 300 stitches just, they were exactly what I needed. I needed the simplicity, and I love these cottages because they're really simple patterns. They're just so cute. Yeah, so I was really excited to pull this one back out, and after I finished those 300, I just kept going, and I think I finished it on Monday, I think. Sunday or Monday. No, I finished it on Sunday. So that is done. My signature is down here, which it's looking a little rough. Like, I can only tell you what it says because I know what I stitched. It honestly just looks like a bunch of little yellow lines. I'm not even going to hold it up because I'm not sure it would show clearly enough, but it's pretty funny. So anyway, yeah, so I really enjoyed taking this back out. This is on 32 count light mocha Belfast linen. My just kind of standard, I need a general neutral looking fabric. and I used the called for DMCs. I don't think I switched anything out. Yeah. So that is that. And usually or not usually, but lately I've been doing Pass the Stash. When I finish a project, I am going to wait on passing the stash for this one because I have on shorts, guys. Since my leg decided to pop up there. What was I saying? Oh, I'm gonna wait to do a Pass the Stash on September, because okay, slow down. So when I bought these cottage patterns, I first bought 3 at a time, and I bought September, October, November, because that was the fall months. I thought about buying them by the quarter, so it would have been October, November, December. But that just kind of bothered me because the other two were fall and December was winter. So I think I'm going to do a Pass the Stash for these by the season because that's also how I'm going to buy them. I'm going to buy the rest of them 3 at a time too, I think. Yeah, so if you would like to get that pattern or the October cottage, if you've been on Instagram, I'm going to show that too. But just wait is the point. When I finish all 3 through November, then we'll do Pass the Stash on that. Okay, so moving on to works in progress. I'll go ahead and show this one because I've already mentioned it, and it just makes the most sense. So I'm not gonna take it out of the plastic. Oh, there you go. So this is October Cottage from the Cottage of the Month series. And again, these are from Country Cottage Needleworks. So I finished September on Sunday, and then I started this on Monday. And of course, yes, I'm using it for magical stitches. Pull this back some. There we go. So this is where I am, guys. I'm so in love with these cottages right now. So, okay, so like I said, School of Magical Stitches and Literature, aka Magical Stitches, they give us a new homework assignment, our weekly homework assignment. We get those on Monday, and they run Monday through Sunday. So this Monday, we got the Year 2, Week 2 homework, because we're in Chamber of Secrets, and there are 7, so we're making Polyjuice Potion, and there are 7 ingredients that we have to gather by stitching on our projects, of course. So we had to put in 100 stitches, their themes, kind of like the other ones we've done. There are 7 tasks. So there are certain things you have to stitch on. You put in 100 stitches on the project if it fits the prompt, 200 stitches if it doesn't fit the prompt. So I used October. I always get up on Monday, and whenever I do go to Magical Stitches, I like to look through and see if I can plan for them ahead of time, because then I just know what projects I have to pick up, and it makes it easier for me. So I went through, I planned everything, and I was going to use this for 4 out of the 7 ingredients, and then I just knew that I was loving it so much after the first couple that I changed one of the ones that I did have a project for. I changed it and just decided to do the 200 alternative because whatever, like I was just loving this so much. So I used this for, oh dear, something that flies, because you don't have to stitch on the actual thing, you just have to stitch on the project. So we needed something that flies. Oh man. Guys, now I don't even remember. Okay, where's my phone? We're gonna look it up. I should know these, but also like I finished them so fast that I'm not really surprised because I got most of these done on that Monday because it's only 100 stitches and that goes really quickly. So, okay, something that flies. Oh, something that wasn't easily obtained, so I had to order these patterns online because I don't have a LNS. Uh, it has grass in it right here under the house. You can see where I started. And then two more. Oh, something with skin. So there are pumpkins under that tree there. And pumpkins, the outer layer is referred to as the skin. And then the last one is the one that I just did the 200 stitches. It was a project you were enabled to stitch from someone else. And I was going to work on Effie, but I think I was going to work on Effie, but I was just loving this so much after the first couple of tasks that I decided to just do the 200 stitches on this. So, and then I worked on it a little bit yesterday, also, and I finished up the windows. But I'm just loving this. So again, 32 count light mocha Belfast linen. All of the cottages will be on that. Needle minder from Thrifty Thread NZ on Etsy. And the grime guard, of course, is from Silver Moon Sewing. Again, I'm using all the called for DMCs. Yeah, I think that's it. And I think each one, or maybe not each one of these, but at least for the September and October ones, they each had a couple of fancy flosses, but they give the DMC alternatives. I'm using the DMC. Yeah, I'm super loving this. It's going to get some work done on it today, for sure. So that is that. Oh, I'm also using it for, is that Cross Stitch Finish Line? They, which is also the group that does Stitchathons. They have like little like sales throughout the months. And I think Monday to today is one in a series, so I'm using October for that also. Next, of course, is Hogwarts Castle from I Cross Stitch Pattern. Oh, I can hold it up like this because this is the page we're focused on. I think I already had this page finished last time. I feel like I did. But if I didn't, voila, page finish. It's like right in here. It's not all of this. It's just in here. Oh my goodness, this confetti. Hold on. I'm going to put this up here for a second. So, that confetti right there for the castle. Oof. That was not fun. And I think I think it made it worse because I had done part of it, before. If you'll remember, it was like kind of splotchy down here, and then I went back filling it in. And because I was doing all that splotchy business, I had messed it up. The counting was off, so that made it even worse. But anyway, that page is done. And then I have started on page 4, and I'm loving it because it's really like this is one color and then there's another color. You can't really tell, but there's another color coming back up this way. And pretty much all the colors on this page do that. It's just giant vertical blocks. So hopefully I will be able to get that page done this weekend, during Stitchathon, so I can go ahead and have my 2400 stitches challenge done. And then this, if anyone is wondering, is my bobbin. We were out somewhere, me and the boyfriend. We went to hang with some of his friends, and I took this with me. And it was easier to pull the color that I needed and just stick it down in my grime guard instead of like bending back over to the floor to put it back in the box. So, and now I'm just leaving it there because it seems like a good idea for the moment until I lose it, right? I thought I did lose it because I forgot I put it in here. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. 16 count wide Ada, needle minder from Simply Serving, and there's a better picture on the blog. I'm not going to hold it up there again. Grime Guard, Silver Moon Sewing. Yeah, that's everything. DMC, of course. Okay, and then, oh, and then I also used that for, so October Cottage, this week's task, I did 5 out of the 7 with October Cottage. Out of the other 2, one of them was Hogwarts Castle. It was for a night scene, and obviously it's Hogwarts at night. And then the other project was, okay, now I'm getting all types of notifications on my phone. Okay, this one was for, oh, so it was something that sticks or just plain sucks. I did something that sticks. So, sorry, everything fell out of the bag. So this is Eat, Sleep, Craft, Repeat from Stitch Rovia, who's Emma Congdon. And I chose this one for something that sticks because of the mantra itself, eat, sleep, craft, repeat. Like, let's be real, every day I'm pretty much checking for those things, so it kind of sticks in my head. Have I eaten today? Did I get enough sleep? Or make sure I get enough sleep, which almost never happens. And then, obviously, I'm going to make sure that I craft today, and obviously we're repeating it. Yeah, so I used it as something that sticks in that way, like it sticks in my memory. So all I did was, and you're not really going to be able to see, check the blog, there will be pictures, but all I did is this, you can kind of see this slightly darker greenish blue over here. I did those stitches, and then the dark blue turquoise teal thing here that you see that's outlining these letters, I did that. And that was right over 100 stitches, so I stopped. I wasn't feeling, like, it was nice to pick this back up and work on it, but I wasn't really, like, feeling it too much. So I've put it back up, but it will come back out this month because I need to use, or not need, but I'm going to use this for one of the February extra credit challenges for Magical Stitches, which is, I think it's something involving words. Obviously there are words. So it'll come back out this month for that. 32 count antique white linen. DMC is called for. I am gonna change, so I'll pop in a picture of what, no I'm not. Yes I will. There might be a picture, there might not. If there's not, just go look on the blog. But the words eat and repeat in the original pattern, the original colors are pink. You guys know I'm not a big pink person, so I have yellow conversions for that. And I've already figured them out, as you can see, so that won't be a big deal. But I am excited to get to that. And then my needle minder is one that I got from the Alzheimer's sale, or no, one of the auctions that Michelle Bendy Stitchy did, and it's from Sampling of Memories. Okay, so that is it for WIPs. Because those are the only 4 projects that I've worked on, and I've finished September Cottage. My fancy Ziploc bag. Okay. So, next, let's see. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do shoutouts really quick. So, let's see. 2 new Flosstubes started within the past week. Candace from Slub Lover Stitches and Misty, I can't remember, and I didn't go back and look. I don't know if she's like kind of named her channel Languideer. That is her, I'll pop it on the screen though, that is her Instagram name. I don't remember if that's her at Flosstube name or if she's calling it something else. But regardless, Candace and Misty love their projects. They're both great to watch. Yeah, so that was great. what was I just about to say? Oh, Candace. So I am a person, like, I found a holiday, it's holidayinsights.com, but I found the website when I was a teenager, and they have, like, the bizarre holidays and all of the weird ones, like, you know, National Puppy Day or National Peanut Butter Day or National, like, Walk Your Dog Day or, like, weird stuff too. But they have a bunch of them listed out on there, and I love that. And Candace does, she kind of like celebrates those, I guess you could say, by doing like little stitches that are based around themes for different days. So I thought that was cool. Um, yeah. And her sense of humor is hilarious. But yeah, both of those, I loved them, and they both just started with their first episode this week, this past week. So go check them out for sure. And then the other person that I have started binge watching now, about a fifth of the way through, is Sam from Sammy J Stitches. Yeah, I have it's a short list still right now, but I have a list of people that I want to start watching for Flosstube, and Sammy J has had a tab open on my laptop for a few weeks now, just patiently waiting her turn. And when I start binge watching people, I start from the beginning. So I don't like watch their newest episode and then go back. I just start from the beginning. Or if they have like hundreds of videos and I don't feel like watching them all, sometimes I'll just go back like 50 videos or so and I'll start there. But anyway, I started from the beginning on Sammy J and loving it, of course, just loving it. Yeah, so check out those people. I'm sure a lot of you are already watching Sammy J Stitches, but you know, new to me discoveries. So shout outs to those people for keeping me company. And other than that, I just have retail therapy. Let me grab all this. Okay. So we'll start with this other stuff first. So I'll start with this because it's craving it also. So I've had this pattern for a while. This is Well Suited by Ink Circles. I just thought it was really cool looking, but mostly when I saw this, I bought it because I was like, I can stitch this for my boyfriend at some point because he and his friends are obsessed with playing spades. Like, obsessed people in the truest sense of the word. Yeah, so I'm gonna stitch this for him. It's his Valentine's Day present. It will not be done next week for Valentine's Day. But yeah, so that's the craving it part of this. And then everything else is retail therapy. So I got 32 count cream Belfast, which is the called for fabric, to stitch that on for him. So nothing super exciting there. Mostly the pattern, but the fabric was retail therapy. And then, okay, I just thought about I need to find something later. Okay, anyway. And then last week I showed you guys arranging tools that I had gotten. I'm going to stitch that for my dad for his birthday, which actually I need to start this one first. So this is the fabric that because I showed the picture of the fabric last week to my mom, and she still thought that it was just too pinkish. So she just said, like, don't do that, find another one. So I just ordered the same fabric that I'm using for arranging the orchestra, which is 30 count angel hair linen from Weeks Dye Works. So again, nothing crazy there. Now that I think about it, I might need to start that today, actually, because his birthday's on Sunday. And he's going to be here this weekend. It won't be done, but still. And then, okay, so that was that. Next, from Michelle Bindi Stitchy on the D-Stash page, I saw these two. So this first one is Moroccan Moth, And this is from Anna Maria Needleworks. I'm sure I don't need to explain this. It's a moth, aka a butterfly. It's a winged creature, people. Like, yeah. So I love this. And this is actually charted in Anchor flosses, but like that won't be a big deal. They're obviously, well, not obviously, there are definitely conversions because I've used them before. So that won't be a problem. I'm not sure if I want to change some of these colors though. I don't know. I kind of like the brightness of the pink. I don't know. Who knows? And then the other one that I got is Age Improves with Wine from C Street Sampler Works. I love this quote. It says, "Wine cheers the sad, revives the old, inspires the young, makes weariness forget his toil." From George Gordon. Interesting. Anyway, not the point. Here's the pattern. I'm not really sure. I think I'm going to stitch this and hang it up in the kitchen area of my apartment, I guess. I honestly don't really know why. I don't remember. I don't really remember why I bought this one, if you want me to be honest. But whatever. It was for charity. Both of these were on the D-Stash page, but they were raising money for Parkinson's. So, of course, I had to get them. But yeah, that's probably what'll happen. And then on the back, because I'll hold this back here. I think this is just like straight up one sheet of paper, and then the pattern is just you flip it over. But there's not different numbers. Oh my gosh. I have to do Smyrna crosses? Dude, that's cool. I've never done specialty stitches before. I don't know. Okay, I can't read this right now. Anyway, they have, I'll show you guys this. They like show you how to do a Smyrna cross and like a 4-sided stitch on here. And I hadn't looked down there yet. Is a Smyrna cross considered a specialty stitch? Is it? I don't know. I feel like they are. Anyway, not the point. Oh gosh, now I'm just showing you guys the pattern. I'm horrible. Anyway, so there's not other numbers, so I will have to play around and change this to a 9. That was what I was gonna say. I got super distracted. I hope I didn't show too much of the pattern there. So, Age Improves with Wine. And then I did it again. Stop flipping the pattern. Ugh. It's gonna be fine. That's why they have editing. I will put up some random flashing picture there if it showed too much. Okay, so this is the last thing for retail therapy. And I know I'm kind of rushing through this, but we have to do our January recap still, and I'm already at 30 minutes, and that's going to be long, so bear with me. Anyway, so this is the last retail therapy, and I haven't opened it yet. This is my January thread of the month from Color and Cotton. Excuse the crinkling. Ooh, I love these. Okay, of course. I knew I was going to love them. Oh, man, this gold. Y'all, I'm losing my mind. So, I just get the 3 flosses, and I do every 2 months, so I won't get another thread of the month until March. So these, okay, this one, and I will, no, they're showing up pretty true to color, actually. Yeah. This one kind of reminds me of, if you've seen my Stiach piece, this one kind of reminds me of Old Santa. Kind of. But anyway, so this one is Vintage Valentine. Yeah, these are showing up pretty true. And then this is Tuscan Sun. Oh my gosh. Y'all know. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind. I need to find something to use this for because this is gorgeous. So Tuscan Sun. And then this blue is Lapis. Or, well, Lapis. I'm gonna pronounce it Lapis. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but yeah, and I love this. So this is really pretty. I love those darker blue tones. Yeah, so these are my threads. I might have to use these in something together because they look really good together. They're 8 yards a piece, so I have an idea, if you can't tell. I already had the idea. I'm not going to mention it in case it never happens. Okay. Okay. Anyway, we'll just leave that alone. If it comes into fruition, obviously I'll tell you guys. Okay, so that's it for retail therapy. So I'm going to pause for a second, put this other stuff away, and grab everything that I need for the January recap, and then, yeah, and then we'll come back and do that. So, pause. Okay, so, January 2019 recap. Just overall, in general, it was a great month, stitchy-wise. But yeah, it was a really good month. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys, I guess I'll fold this since we're only talking about, darn it. I don't want this to be folded though. Okay, it's not, I'm not going to fold it. Anyway, so a lot of people have whip trackers that they use to keep up with what they stitch on each day. And I had really been wanting something like that, especially for the purpose of floss tubing, because it makes it way easier to check, like, what have I worked on since that last floss tube. So this I found on, okay, so for anyone that watched the Craft With Me video, I mentioned Trisha, the left-handed stitcher, and how I had found all of the tag questions that she had so generously, like, taken the time to put up on her blog for other people to find all those tags. So if you go to her blog, and I'll be sure to link it in the show notes, and I'll try to remember to put it in the description box down below, but it'll definitely be in the show notes. Anyway, so the last blog post that she made was the files for this whip tracker. So this is what it looks like blank, and she has, so I only did the top portion, but she also has a bottom portion which just continues, because it's very, you can't see it, but it's very lightly numbered right here to 19 for this is where you list your whips. So the bottom half just, it's the same thing, and it just starts at 20 and keeps going. Anyway, like I said, I only used the top half because I knew that I didn't have more than 19 whips. So, I'm going to try to keep it that way because, as you can see, I've already, like, printed my stuff out. So, here's January, and you can see I've started keeping up with February. And so I just went ahead and, like, copied enough for the entire year. So hopefully I don't end up having over 20 whips, because I would have to redo this, and I really don't want to have to. So, this is January, and it was really difficult for the past couple of weeks to not talk about this, but I was purposely saving it so that I could just do a whole spiel once. you know, once a month. But anyway, so, okay. Let me see. I'm gonna try to scoot in some so you guys, so I can get closer. Okay. So, January 2019, you can see I have all my whips listed here to the left. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out how to go about explaining all this. So up here, like I said, whips on the left, you can see she has the numbers up here. She put through 30. So I just added the 31. But for each one, whatever day that I filmed the Flosstube, I mark it so that I know, hey, I filmed the Flosstube that day, and it makes it easier to look and see, well, this is everything that I worked on since that last Flosstube. Yeah, so that's what those are at the top. Just what Flosstube I filmed and on what day. So you can see here, obviously this is Hogwarts Castle because I'm using it for the Q1 90-day challenge. So I've stitched on it every day in January, and then the rest of my whips accordingly as I stitch on them. I have marked them. So the two highlighter colors that I have so far, blue is a page finish, so that'll only be on, and actually I didn't mark whatever day I finished that super tiny page on Butterfly Effect. I need to go back and do that. But yeah, so for right now, page finish will only happen on Butterfly Effect and Hogwarts Castle. And then the green is a new start, so I only mark that the first day, obviously, when it's a new start. And then when I finish a project, there's no color for that. Whatever, like this is the last day that I stitched on this project, and then I just write finished after it. And then off to the left here in front of the whip name, I just put a check mark. Yeah. So, this is what I'm using, and it's really helpful, like I said. Okay, so I think that that's all I wanted to say about this. It was really just more of showing it off. Yeah. So, let's see. And I said this in the whip parade, but I started with 18. Is that what I said on the whip parade? We'll say that I started the year with 18 whips. I think that's right. Started with 18, and then I finished with 17? I don't know. Now I'm confused. That was supposed to be like a numbers kind of statistic thing, but yeah, we're moving on. I didn't count it beforehand, and I'm not about to try to figure it out right now. So, moving on. But yeah, so that's my daily whip tracker. I just wanted to start off by showing you guys that. Okay, so let's bring this back because this leads me into my other kind of stat stuff. So I had 4 new starts in January, and that was You Are My Density, Temperature Quilt, Moon Phases from the Witchy Stitcher, and I'm not going to show these, and then Butterfly Effect, in that order. And then I had 2 whip finishes in January also, You Are My Density and Pumpkin Hollow Farms. And then I wrote down 2-page finishes, but like I said, I forgot about that tiny, tiny page finish on Butterfly Effect, if you'll remember. It was like 200-something stitches. So 3-page finishes, 2 on Hogwarts Castle. I'll just go ahead and grab this. So, oh my gosh, stop it. So 2-page finishes on Hogwarts Castle, page 3 and page 9. Okay, and then 1 on Butterfly Effect. Okay, so that's kind of it for the for the kind of like quick fact stuff. So now everything else, like this is why it's going to take a while, because I'm going to show you guys all of my different notebooks that I have for stuff and kind of explain that stuff. This is why this is only going to happen once a month. Okay. So the next thing that I want to talk about, you guys know I'm using this for the Q1 90-day challenge in Full Coverage Fanatics. That's a Facebook group. You have to pick a full coverage project, obviously, and then stitch on it at least one stitch into it every day for the first quarter. And coincidentally, Q1 is actually 90 days. The other 3 aren't. But Q1 is actually exactly 90 days. But anyway, it's January through March. In January, I did not miss a day, and I stitched on all 31 days for that. I also am doing the 1,200 and 2,400 monthly stitches challenges, or stitches, oh my gosh, 1,200 stitches and 2,400 stitches monthly challenges in Full Coverage Fanatics. I finished both of those on Hogwarts Castle also. Okay, what else? Okay, and I think that's what I wanted to mainly say about Hogwarts Castle. Okay, continuing on a project kind of span so that I can get all those out of the way. Temperature quilt. You guys saw this last week, and I had 1 through 28 done. Woohoo, February start. But here's all of January. So this is the 29th, 30th, and 31st. So it is now worked all the way down to the bottom. And that looks off. Like, that's not even. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so that is month 1. And yes, there's still some missing spots. Whatever. Month 1 is done, basically. Okay. And this is Temperature Quilt from Stitchin' Mommy. I'm using this as part of the Temperature Sal, which I know there's an event for in the Stitch Mania group on Facebook. But, you know, you don't have to join that event to participate, to do a temperature quilt. And I know a bunch of people in the Stitch Along with Stitchin' Mommy group on Facebook, a bunch of people, because she has 4 or 5 patterns, I think, for temperature cross stitch, so you can just jump over there too if you're stitching on one of her patterns. Okay, so that's that. Notebooks. So I'm going to start with this one because we were talking about Hogwarts Castle, and I can't remember if I've showed this before. I feel like I have, but this is the notebook that I'm using for my full coverage pieces. I just got it at Michael's, and I I copied this idea from Amy of Creativity by Gidge, but it's smart, so of course. So this is how I keep up with stuff for Hogwarts Castle. Have the name of the pattern at the top. I cross-stitch pattern on Etsy, which is the designer. I have total pages, 35, total number of stitches. And then this one is square. Oh gosh, okay. I'm just gonna set everything on the floor. Okay, so, oh, right here I put the grid, the width by height, but it's square, so they're the same thing. Anyway, so then this part I did to help me out so that I don't have to think every time for Stitch from Stash. So I went through, and a full page, which is here, I just wrote all other pages, has 2460 stitches, which is why I always say that a full page is the 2400 stitches challenge for me. And then the other pages that aren't full, depending on what page they are, like how far over on the page they go pretty much. So I basically just did all the stitch counts for those different pages. There you go. So that I don't have to think about it. When I finish that page, I can go, oh, you're this page, you have this many stitches, and I can just add that to my total that I like use for my stats every time. And then right here, this is the part for Stitch from Stash. There you go. You can see I have how much money it is per page, and SFS is Stitch from Stash. So that, again, I don't have to like go to the grid or figure out how many stitches are on there. I already know how much I'm going to earn from that page finish. And then the other like main thing really is keeping up with all the pages. So this last part is in highlighter, so it's kind of hard to read. But I have each page, the date that I started it. Some of them have question marks if I like started feathering and I don't know what day I started that page. The day that I finished the page. Here you can see next to started I put 2018, so when I finished this page it had rolled over to the new year, so I put 2019 there. And then over here, so whenever I finish the page, whatever stitches I have done, that's what I'm going to use for my stitches complete stat. So these are the number of stitches that I had done at that point, and then I use that and the total number to find the percentage that I have complete. So after finishing page 9, I was 16.3% complete and a little bit over 12,000 stitches. So yeah, so this is my notebook for this, and like I already know that it has 35 pages, so I already know that I'm going to need the rest of this page and this one. And then I started a new page for Butterfly Effect, but not too much on there. And since that one's a weird shape, like the stuff at the top isn't even really filled out because it's too much. Yeah, so there is that notebook. I probably won't show that one to you guys every month. But I figured it's the first one, it's the beginning of the year, I might as well. So there's that, and I'm going to use that for all of my full coverage. As you can see, I've already put Butterfly Effect in there. So this one is, I know what that is. Okay, so next, I'll save this one for last. Okay, so this next one is just a little book that my mom, we went to Atlanta before my internship, summer 2018, and she went to, is it Dick Blick? I think that's it, but it's like a huge craft store, and she went and she was getting a couple of these notebooks for herself. They're really good and really expensive, but they're graph paper notebooks. Anyway, Fabriano, that's the brand. But yeah, she saw one in yellow, so she got it for me. And it's graph paper. She got it because I have another graph paper notebook that I use for my knitting designs when I have ideas and stuff. So she got this one for me also. And I use this for Stitchathon. So, and other like sales, because the JMDS turns 5 sale is in here apparently. Yeah, but this is supposed to be used for Stitchathons. So I'm just going to show you the two from this year so far. So Stitchathons 2019, so you can see this is basically going to be my setup every time too. This is really just more for me to be able to keep up, because I don't save my post in the Stitchathon threads, event threads. So this is more for me to be able to keep up and see what I've done. Oh, so Stitchathon is in, I had it on one page. It's in the Cross Stitch Finish Line group on Facebook. Like I said, I'll link all the groups. So the first stitch-a-thon of the year was January 11th through the 13th, and these run over weekends. So this is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, so I will write the date. I typically set a goal. Yeah, this one was just 1,000 stitches, and I completely blew it out of the water. So like I showed you guys before, I'm a highlighter, and then at the end of the weekend, all the projects I've worked on, I list them and I count the stitches for each of them, write them down, add them up, get a total. Like I said, I blew that one out of the water, so goal met. And then the next one was a couple weeks ago now. Again, the goal was 1,000. I only worked on Hogwarts Castle. So again, the total. And if I don't meet my goal, I'm not gonna like put goal not met or whatever. I'm just not gonna put anything. Yeah, so, and then there's a stitch-a-thon this weekend, so I need to go in here and put February 8th through the 10th. Okay. Yeah, but just super simple, but this is how I keep up with my stitch-a-thon stuff. And there are ones in here from last semester, but I'm not going to show them to you because they don't matter. That's not the point. This is a January recap. So, the last notebook that I have to show, let me make sure I'm showing all the right stuff. Okay, yeah, so this is the last notebook I have to show. My mom and I think we got these from Michael's, from A. Michael's, but it has the holes on the front cover so that you can cross stitch or embroider something on there. So I need to figure out exactly what I'm going to do. Since I use this book for Stitch from Stash exclusively, I think I'm going to find a font or just like design something for the front of it. Yeah, my mom is doing something on hers already, but I need to figure out what I'm going to do on mine because we've had these for a while. Yeah, so anyway, just a simple notebook. And then, coincidentally, the front of this, before I started using it for Stitch from Stash, I was listing tags I wanted to do and people to watch. I should get back to this list. A few people you can see I've crossed off, but not all of them. Anyway, okay. I have a lot of stuff in this that I need to, okay. Anyway, so Stitch from Stash, which you can type that in on Facebook, and it'll bring up the group. It's Stitch from Stash 2017 through 19. But anyway, when I first started doing it on my own, because I did it by myself August through December last year, I was a late start. So I just did it by myself to kind of get used to keeping up with it. And I wrote down all the rules here that I would have to remember. Yeah, my monthly budget is $25. And then all of this was from last semester. Okay, so January 2019. And they do 2 different sessions. I don't know if that's what they're called. But the first one is January through June. So you can see I have January through June. And then the other one is July through December. You start over, I think. So this is January's. You can see I just put my starting budget, which it's the beginning of a new session, so $25. And then I go through, I list the date, if it's a new date. I'm going to highlight those blue so that they're easy to see and pick out. Yeah, and then you guys can pretty much see my formatting here. If it's a page finish, I'll put that. Put what pattern and the designer. And then how much money I get from it. And then I do a new budget line, and I underline those again to make them easier to find. And then it's pretty much the same thing. You just change what's here. So this was a finished object, so I put FO, but it's the same process. This one I didn't underline. Not quite sure why. Anyway, this one I might not have underlined because there were 2 things on this day, so I probably updated them at the same time. And then here, this is the only other type of entry that I really have is purchases. So if I purchase something, I just put purchase. I put what I purchased, and then subtract the money, new budget. Pretty simple. Like it's nothing extravagant. Okay, and then here's the other page, and then this was my ending budget down here. So at the end of the month, after I'd started, February's on the next page, and after I'd started that, I went back and I just highlighted it in purple because it was negative, and the months that I ending the positive in the black, I will highlight it green. Okay, and then on the Stitch from Stash page, every month you have to like check in, or not like, you have to check in. So I had to I went through and I on a calculator and I just totaled the earnings credits versus the purchases, and then I just wrote those down here so that I could just kind of quick look at it. Okay. Yeah, and then I'll go ahead and show this just cause. So this is the start of February's. And so you can see how the rest of the months after the first one of the session will be just a little bit different. So starting budget, this is what I ended with at the end of January, plus a new month, because I give myself $25 budget every month. So plus a new month, add that $25, and then this is the new budget. So I was minus $14.25, and then I finished September cottage. I need to go back and underline this. So yeah, like I said, super simple, you know, nothing crazy to show off. At some point I will, whenever, oh my gosh, I keep dropping everything. Whenever I get around to doing this, you guys will see it as a whip. So don't worry, like, whatever I decide to stitch on the front of this, you guys will see it as I'm working on it. That won't be like, oh, I'm going to come back February and like it's randomly done. No. You guys will because what my mom did, to make it easier to stitch, she just took the front off because you can slide it out of these, and I'm going to do that too. So you guys will see it. Okay, I'm going to put that down. And then, okay, so the last big thing, or the last thing, period, to update on, obviously, is School of Magical Stitches and literature. So, okay, so you guys know it's a read-along. It's a year-long, all year, all of 2019. It's a read-along and a stitch-along. So, the read-along portion, January was Sorcerer's Stone. February is Chamber of Secrets. The rest of the year, the other 5 books each get 2 months. So March and April will be Prisoner of Azkaban, etc. So last month I started and finished reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So that's that. I had 1 book finished, which is, it sounds kind of pathetic for me because I used to be a crazy reader, but it's good. I'm excited about it. I'm trying to get back into reading. So hopefully the goal this month, I want to finish, off the top of my head, I want to finish 4 books. 2 of those will be new starts, one of which will be Chamber of Secrets. Anyway, focus. So January, I started and finished Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And then everything else, Magical Stitches, was stitching for me. So, and I'm not going to go like into crazy detail. I'm just giving a general recap here. I finished all of the homeworks and got credit for those. Like I said, I finished the book, and I'm not sure if they're done grading all the January stuff yet, but I finished the book. that last half week of January, you know, I mentioned they had the little detention challenge. I did that too. I didn't do any of the monthly extra challenges. I didn't do for stitching. I didn't do any of the extra reading challenges. And I still have not started the yearly Stitchy challenge or the yearly reading challenge. I'm not going to do the yearly reading challenge. Still trying to decide if I'm going to do any at all of the yearly Stitchy challenges, because you don't have to finish all of them. You still get points for each ones that you finish, but I would like to do all of them. So I'm still really trying to decide if I want to do that, and I need to take the time to really look through my whips and look through the prompts and see if I can come up with anything. At some point, I really want to do a YouTube live some weekend to access the hive mind of the community, and see if maybe you guys can help me find some ways that they'll work for the challenges. And I wanted to do that this weekend, but I don't know. Yeah. And like it's Wednesday now and I haven't really said anything about it. I want to give people plenty of time to plan for that. So I don't know if it'll be later on in February. It might not happen until March. TBH, it's a yearly challenge. I might not even start until June or July. Who knows? But yeah, so that is my general like magical stitches update. Just the stuff that I accomplished in it. You guys hear the detailed stuff every week when I show you my whips. So that is that. That's it for the recap. So like I said, January was a good month. My hands are sweaty for some reason. January was a good stitchy month. I am looking forward to February. I think I'm going to have a new start today, so I can go ahead and start on my dad's birthday present, but we'll see, because I need to actually check the flosses too. But yeah, so that is everything for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing all of that. Like I said, I'm going to try to do one of these monthly recaps, the first episode of a new month, so we can look at progress. I feel like this is productive. It makes me feel like I definitely still accomplished stuff. So yeah, until next week, which I'm a day late because I like to record on Tuesdays, but we're still basically right on schedule, guys. So hopefully I can keep not missing weeks. And I will see you guys next time. Happy stitching.